Okay, all eyes out. Highly recommend that everyone listen to this discussion. 23 is a very well-written AE question, meaning it's designed to fool you if you don't read very carefully. It says, x plus 7y equals 29 is an equation of a line normal. Come on, equation of a line normal to the graph of f. Okay, there's a reason why this picture is on the wall, of course. One is so I remember the two students that gave it to me, I'll be honest. Second reason is because this comes up over and over again throughout the AP test. When I read this question, I think of this picture, okay? So I draw points for the whole room. I need to label that somehow. Read the question carefully, raise your hand when you can tell me what label can I assign to that. Go ahead. Like based on the question, I can assign a label to that curve. But I've got to be cautious to make sure I assign the appropriate label. Looking for a few more hands here. Let's go, Reagan, what do you think? Perfect. This equation is the equation of a line. Using really bad grammar, this ain't no line. That's a curve. The curve is f. Please show me your hands if you knew that before Reagan said it. 2 points, 3 for Reagan. Okay. What else can I put on my picture? Like, I guarantee you get good at drawing this picture by reading the problem. It makes a huge difference. It shows up a lot on the AP test. Okay, what else can I put here in the picture based on the reading? Todd? 0.14. Says there's a point on F at 1,4. So do that. Show me your hands if you were thinking that was another item we could label. 2 points, 3 for Todd. What else can I draw or label on the picture? Go, Cameron.
Would you say that the equation, like you point that the 0.14 is equal to x plus 7y equals 29?
3 points. We definitely have, this equation is definitely associated with this point, 3 for Cameron. We just need to be a tiny bit more precise as to what I draw to show how this equation is associated with this point.
Oh, slope?
Close, close. In other words, Timmy.
Doesn't it mean if it's normal to the graph that it would be perpendicular? So you have a line perpendicular to that point.
There we go. So I need a line perpendicular to this point, like that. And technically it's perpendicular to a tangent, but saying that it's perpendicular to the curve is fine. It's just easier for me to draw if I do that. How many knew it? 2 more, 3 for Timmy. Questions? Okay, so that's what we draw. The question says, what's f prime of 1? Apparently this is the day where I like to pay tickets for very precise statements. So raise your hand, I'll pay you a full ticket if you can tell me what does the symbol f prime of 1 precisely mean in this problem. That symbol represents something very precise. Hands up. What does it represent? F prime of 1. Let's go, Jonah.
The slope at x equals 1.
And then just add one more thing, the slope of what?
The line, but how that.
Better, yeah. We don't want to say the line, because really, this is f. This is f, so it's the slope of f at x equal 1. So, a little hard to draw that, but you see me do it all the time. I'll say, hey, f is the blue. That's the slope right there. That's what f prime of 1 represents. Show me your hands if you were prepared to say exactly what he said.
Is tangent slope and just slope the same thing?
Oh, I'll pay you another ticket for that one. Today's ticket to me. I have to say technically no, but we do use it that way for sure. and the AP test will do the same thing. Like, they'll just say the slope of the curve, and so that means exactly the same thing as the tangent slope. Tangent is a more precise way to say it, but they'll say just slope.
Okay, so if I were to say like what Jonah said, but with tangent in it, would that be wrong or right?
So say it to me, just to make sure.
F prime is like where you find the tangent slope of f.
So f prime of 1 is the tangent slope of f at x equal 1.
Yeah.
Is that what you meant?
Yeah.
Perfect. Well,
Mr. Smith,
please.
could you also say that it's the slope of the tangent line at x equals 1?
Yes, that is also correct. In fact, that was the follow-up question. It's perfect. They want to know the slope of the curve right here, which is the same thing as saying, what's this slope? Okay? They want to know what is that slope. Where does this go in this whole thing? Like, where does this label belong? Hands. Where does that label belong? Melissa.
It's the equation for the line perpendicular to the tangent slope.
So this line is x plus 7y equals 29. How many knew it? 2 points, 3 for Melissa. Okay, it's like a lot of AP problems. You've got all these puzzle pieces on the board. Somehow you have to use what you see to go find the slope of this pink. That's what we're trying to find. So looking for suggestions. I can think of 2 ways to do it, to be honest. How do I use all this information to somehow find the slope of the pink line? And there's one piece of information that we haven't written on the board that you're just supposed to remember from about your 8th grade math class. They tested on the ACT often, as far as I remember. Mr. Recchi would remember better than me because you're always doing those ACT prep stuff. But Andrew.
So I would change the normal equation to be y equals mx plus b, and then the slope of the normal line, if you like change the sign and take the reciprocal of it, then that's the slope of the
Andrea said that really well. She said, I'm going to rearrange this equation to look like that. Because of how fractions add, that can be rewritten like this. Now, you're going to have to do that quite a bit this year, so just wave at me if you need to talk more about it. So, you okay from here to here? Then I'm trying to just get the y alone because my goal is this. So I divide both sides by 7. That gets the y by itself. They're just dividing that side by 7. When fractions are added, you add the top, but the bottom stays the same. So that's why this single fraction can be split into 2. So now I have y equals m x plus b. 2 points for Janessa. Please raise your, again, look at me. Here's a little slogan. Tell yourself this over and over again. For calculus, doing the math is never enough. Like, you have to do the math and then know what you did. Like, seriously, people, it happens all the time. They'll do all the steps and they'll come to me and they'll say, I don't know what to do. I'm like, it's just because you got lost in the math. Like, you did all the work and then you lost track of what you were doing. So hands up, what does this represent? What does that represent? Nick?
The slope of the normal line.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Negative 1/7 is this slope. Show me your hands if you knew that before Nick said it. 2 points, 3 for Nick. And then what Andrea did is she just remembered that little ACT thing. Do they test that on the ACT much?
Yeah, I got tested on Saturday.
Little bit.
Here and there.
Here and there.
You saw it on the Saturday test, actually. There you go.
Why did we use that y equals x plus b instead of the other slope?
Oh, gotcha. Smart. Hold on. So just finishing what Andrea said first. If the slope of the orange is negative 1/7, the slope of the pink is 7. And that's what they wanted me to find, was the slope of the pink, because as Mr. Recti said, it's a lot of words, but to say it precisely, the slope of the line tangent to the curve at x equal 1, that's the same thing as f prime of 1. That's what I was trying to find. So, every good questions to there. Savannah? Are you comfortable, Savannah, that Savannah's question was, where did we get the 7? Are you comfortable with that negative 1/7 being the slope of this line? So you learned it a long time ago. You okay now? 3 points, no worries. Anybody else? Jonas, oh yeah, I got you. Jonas' question was, why did we use this formula instead of this formula? Is that correct? Awesome, 3 points. Anytime I encounter a problem where the problem's requirements are for me to write the equation of a line, I'm going to use this. In calculus, it's just the easiest way to go. This way isn't wrong, it's just typically harder. So when they say write an equation of a line, I'm going to go here. This problem's kind of backwards. Like they gave me the equation of the line, and I'm trying to use that to find this slope here. So going to this form was just the easiest way to go, that's all. It would have been difficult to get from here to that one up there, so is that?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, 3 points. Please.
Sorry, with the equation on the top right, I'm just a little confused with the x, like the x1 and the y1. Like, just what is it again?
For our class, really all you have to do is memorize a couple of key things. One, just remember, this is the form of a line, any line. Like I'll use this if they say write the equation of a tangent line, or they say write the equation of a normal line, or a secant line, or a parallel line. I'll use that template. The template, the M represents the slope of the line. And the x1, y1 represents a point on the line. There's nothing more that you really need to understand for this class than that. Does that answer your question? Not really.
Sorry, can we just maybe just do one small little example of that? Sorry.
So, no, you're good. So for example, in this problem, this orange line goes through the point 1, 4. We know the slope of that line is negative 1/7.
Yep.
So knowing that, I could literally write the equation of that line by saying y must equal negative 1/7, x minus the x coordinate, which is 1, plus the y coordinate, which is 4. This equation is exactly equivalent to this equation. It's just in a different format. But they both describe all the points on that orange line. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, it does.
2 more. I've lost track if I got everybody's question. Cool. Anything else here?